Hey guys, in just a moment we're going to talk about Tom Clancy's The Division, but before we do that I want to tell you guys about Dumb and Dumber 2.
Dumb and Dumber 2. And we call him Mr. Anus.
Man oh man, I love Harry and Floyd. That's right, Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels are back in Dumb and Dumber 2.
I like it a lot.
It is the return of everyone's favorite dumbest characters coming to DVD and Blu-ray on February 17th. So, if you are interested in checking it out,
which why wouldn't you be
sure to click the annotation or the link in the description to check out trailers and behind the scenes content.
Sounds good to me.
And now, on to the video.
From this point, the breakdown will happen fast.
Day 1. Hospitals will reach capacity. Panic will strike. Day 2. Quarantine zones will be established. Resources will be rationed. Transport will go into lockdown. Day 3. International trade will stop. The oil will dry up. The stock market will collapse. Day 4. The power will fail. The shelves will be empty. The taps will run dry. And once hunger and despair take hold, people will do anything for survival. By day 5, everyone will be a potential threat.
Why hello there fellow agents, what's up? It's Robbie with Overworld Games and we have a ton of news to go over for The Division. So if this video ends up being a little bit long, you could skip ahead to the news you want to know about by following the guide in the description below. So always check that description because we're going to be going into news about a possible alpha or beta in the spring. There's even more teases about that. A mod being worked on for The Division. It's fan-made. We're going to show off that as well, and then a lot more, so let's get to it.
More Division coming at you!
So guess what? We have more signs that either a public alpha or beta is coming in spring. This comes from the EskimoPress.com. I've actually seen their website before, and they've had some good content, so I was really surprised to see when they spoke about The Division. And they talked to an alpha tester, supposedly, who was alpha testing The Division previously, and here's what he had to say. I was amazed with just how polished the pre-alpha was, and I am confident that people will fall in love with the game when the alpha goes public. Public? What in the world do they mean? Well, thankfully they did ask the alpha tester exactly that, and he said, well, there's going to be a public alpha spring 2015. That is really interesting because previously I reported that Shinobi, who is a famous leaker, some of this information has been dead on in the past, said that we can expect a beta in March. Now remember, these are all leaks, these are all rumors. I don't know if they're true or not, but to be honest with you, I've never seen an alpha released for a Ubisoft game. I never have. I've seen betas released, but not an alpha, so I really don't think it's going to be an alpha, and I really don't know if it's going to be in the spring. I really do think that's probably way too soon, but the good news, they are testing the heck out of the game. And the testers, from what I have heard, are really, really loving it. So that is some good news to hear that progress report for sure. So MindDivision.net did a recent interview with Martin Holtberg and company about The Division. These guys are from Ubisoft Massive. And they had some more comments about zombies. They were asked, will we be seeing zombies in The Division? It's probably by far one of the questions that I am asked all the time about The Division, and the answer is nope. This game is going to be authentic to real life. You will not be seeing zombies in The Division, so just remember that. But, you know, my question is, would you guys like to see a zombie theme during Halloween or something like that, or eventually a mod for the PC? Let me know. I think that might be interesting and fun if they did something like that. So let me know if you guys want to see zombies in The Division. So someone out there is actually such a fan of The Division, I really don't blame them that they are making a full-on mod dedicated to the game using the CryEngine 3. You can see it here. Of course, I think we want the full Division experience, but this is so cool that the fan base is getting together and trying to make a mod. There's not a lot of information known about The Division except that it's a fan-made mod and it is running on a really, really good engine, the CryEngine 3. But check it out in the description below if you want to find out more. So now, on to your top comments and questions. Please be sure to leave them below if you want a chance to end up in the video. And man, this time we've got some good ones. So this one got a lot of attention from you guys. It comes from Swaggato Perdon, and he goes on to say, will we be able to drive cars and shoot while driving? That is a really good question. They said that they aren't really focused on vehicles for the Division. You won't be driving around a lot in the Division because it's going to be about surviving. I mean, think about it. You're going to be more worried about food, shelter, and water, not getting gas for your car. So they really want to make it realistic. And can you imagine just exploring this world on foot? I really do think it's going to be quite immersive, and I think there's going to be a lot of vertical traversal when you are going up the skyscrapers. I do think that's really where the Division is going to shine. Here's a good question that comes from Thomas Van Hecky, and he goes on to ask, will there be some kind of clan system? How many people contain one group, and what happens when you die? Do you lose your inventory? So that's a lot of questions all in one. So I'm going to start out, what about the groups? How much people are going to be in the group? So first of all, it's going to be 4 players, and then you're +1 on the mobile companion app. So someone can be using the drone and really looking out for you guys as a team. Now, on the official Ubi blog, they did mention in-game raids going up to 8 players. Now, they said that they aren't going to be talking about it much, but expect 8-player raids where it requires an additional amount of players. Again, think Destiny. I just hope that 8 players are not required to go on these massive raids. I really do not like that about Destiny's raids, where you absolutely have to have a certain player count to get in there. So I hope they're more lenient with the raids. Now, what else did you ask? Oh yes, you asked what happens when you die. Now, when you are in co-op and you're out in the world outside of the dark zones, you're not in a dark zone, you die, there's really no penalty, maybe some sort of XP penalty. That's a total guess. But now this is not a guess. When you're in a dark zone and you have collected gear from that dark zone and you get killed in that dark zone, you lose the weapon you found in the dark zone. So dark zone weapons are tied down to dark zones. So if you die in a dark zone, expect to lose any gear that you collected within that specific dark zone. So there are going to be more penalties when you go into PvP, which is going to be a total blast. And yes, I do believe that there is going to be some sort of clan system. Woo-wee, that was a good question. Jordan Brock McConnell goes on to ask, how big is the world of the Division? Well, previously I did a whole map size examination trying to guess around how big this world is. You can find that in the description below. But from the guesstimates, it looks like it's going to be bigger than GTA 5. Now that's really interesting considering most of the game is on foot, so this game is going to be totally immersive. I cannot wait to see how they handle the traversal system in this game. Now, this is all rumor and speculation. They have not given the exact detail on the map size, but I'm guessing it's going to be absolutely massive, the size of GTA 5. And we've got one more. This one comes from Dan Vanderkolk. He goes on to ask, will we have like zip lines or some sort to get off a building fast? So zip lines and stuff like that. Well, as I recall, there will be rappelling in the game. Think Rainbow Six. So I'm hopeful that there will be rappelling, and it would be cool to see zip lines. I hope that a lot of the game is about getting across the building's rooftops. That would be interesting. Maybe there will be little makeshift bridges that have been made by the surviving citizens, but I would expect this game to be a lot about the vertical traversal for sure. Now, previously I showed you all my Gizmo shirt, and I was curious to see if anyone got it. And someone did. Dragox4 says, Gizmo is a reference to the movie Gremlins. Amazing movie. Awesome, you are now my friend by default, since you like Gremlins. That is so good to hear. And also, guys, check out Gremlins the movie. It is hilarious. You will not regret it. So, guys, thank you so much for your comments and your questions. Leave them below, of course. Don't forget, we are doing our Xbox One and PS4 giveaway. We're teaming up with Star Wars HQ. We're celebrating the arrival of Star Wars in 2015, including Star Wars Battlefront. And of course, don't forget, we love The Division. We cannot wait for this game here at Open World Games. So thank you guys once again, and I will see you next time.
empty. I heard that gunfire. Nick, check your map, see if there's anything in the area.